During her morning jog, Harper noticed an unusual shape in the river. Curious, she approached the water's edge, expecting a stray animal. As she got closer, her curiosity turned to a mix of fascination and fear. When she saw the creature clearly, her face went pale, and she gasped. "What the heck is that?" She quickly backed away, pulling out her phone to snap a few pictures, careful not to drop it in the water. She stayed frozen, eyes fixed on the creature, which seemed to be staring right back at her. She had never seen anything like it before. Before we continue, smash the like button, subscribe and ring the notifications bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. All of a sudden, the creature started making weird noises. It was a wailing noise, and Harper wondered what it meant. It could be an attempt to scare her away, she thought, but it could also very well mean that it, whatever it was in pain. She tried to get a better look at it, but before she could even find the answer, it disappeared. Harper looked around for a while, her eyes skimming over the surface of the water, looking for that animal. Where had it gone? It couldn't have just disappeared, but Harper just couldn't see it anymore. She walked around the river shore, staring into the depths, but she only saw darkness. The river seemed empty, but then she suddenly saw a pair of eyes staring right at her. The sight startled Harper, and she almost lost her footing and fell into the water. But when she looked into the river again, the eyes were gone. Had she really seen them, or had she just imagined it? She couldn't be sure. However, she was certain of one thing. She wanted to go home. She had come to this river for a picnic by herself, and she had quite enjoyed the day. But now she was feeling quite uneasy. What if that creature suddenly came crawling onto the land? She had no idea whether it was dangerous or not. She decided that it was better to be safe and just head home. Later that evening, Harper sat on the couch, pondering about what had happened at the river that day. Harper couldn't shake the image of the strange creature with eerie eyes staring at her from the river. Remembering she had taken some pictures, she checked her phone and was relieved to see the creature clearly captured in the photos. Still puzzled, she searched online but found no useful information. Thinking it couldn't hurt to ask others, she posted one of the photos on a forum, asking if anyone knew what it was. It was late, and not expecting much. She went to bed. The next day, after a busy morning of chores, Harper finally checked her phone during lunch and was stunned. Her forum post had exploded overnight with hundreds of comments. The guesses about the creature ranged wildly from a lost seal to a deep-sea monster that somehow ended up in the river. Harper chuckled at some of the more outlandish theories, like an alien pet accidentally left on Earth. Each guess was more bizarre than the last, showing just how captivated people were by the mystery she had shared. Among the sea of speculation, two comments stood out to Harper. One was a confirmation of a similar sighting, making her heart race with both excitement and fear. The other was a vague threat, warning her to be careful about what she had stumbled upon. The stark contrast between these two caught her full attention, pushing her to dive deeper. The sighting confirmation came from a user named Jim. He claimed to have seen the same creature a few weeks back, near the same area. Jim's detailed account added a layer of credibility to Harper's encounter, making her realize she wasn't the only one who had come face to face with this enigma. The vague but unsettling comment warned Harper to tread carefully, hinting at deeper forces at play. Though the threat's seriousness was unclear, it gave her a chill. Still, her curiosity only grew. She examined Jim's profile and found it credible. Years of active posts about local wildlife. Feeling hopeful, Harper messaged him, explaining her sighting and asking for more details about his experience. Was it the same creature? Did he feel threatened? The threatening account was a dead end. No posts, no history, nothing. It seemed created just to intimidate her. Uneasy, Harper decided to block the user. The warning lingered, but she chose to keep searching for answers. Safety was her priority. With a few clicks, she removed the possibility of any further communication from the anonymous account, a small but significant step to protect herself. Harper's message to Jim was more than just an inquiry. It was a step towards unraveling a mystery that had captivated her since the sighting. She couldn't help but wonder about the creature's origins and whether it posed any danger. As she waited for Jim's reply, Harper felt like she was on the cusp of a discovery, eager to learn more, but aware of the potential risks. Jim replied quickly, sharing details of his own eerie encounter by the river. Like Harper, he'd seen something unexplainable, stirring a mutual curiosity between them, quickly agreeing that what they'd seen was neither a typical river creature like a seal, nor anything as simple as a lost squid. After some discussion, they decided to meet and try to uncover more about the mysterious creature. Both knew it would be a long shot, but the excitement of the unknown drove them. Preparing for their meeting, Harper packed her backpack with essentials, unsure of how long they'd be out. Flashlights, extra batteries, and a first aid kit made the list, ready for whatever the night might bring. As Harper packed, excitement and nerves swirled inside her. She brought a camera, binoculars, snacks, and water, ready for a long night. The plan was to meet Jim at dusk by the river, where their search for the mysterious creature would begin. Arriving early, Harper scanned the quiet waters, her backpack heavy with anticipation. When Jim arrived, he revealed he'd also received a threatening message, mirroring hers. The shared warning deepened the mystery and strengthened their resolve. Determined not to let fear stop them, they armed themselves with flashlights and began their search. The river was calm and silent, offering no clues. As night fell, Harper and Jim moved carefully along the edge, eyes alert, the creature's secret still hidden beneath the surface. Deciding to follow the river upstream, they ventured into the adjacent forest. The trees stood tall and dense, their branches weaving a dark canopy above. The sounds of the forest at night were unnerving, yet thrilling. Each step took them deeper into the unknown, the quiet of the woods a stark contrast to the bubbling of the river beside them. As they progressed, an irrational sensation of being watched crept over them. They exchanged uneasy glances, trying to dismiss the feeling, but it lingered, making their journey through the forest even more tense, though they told themselves it was just their imagination. Harper and Jim couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The deeper they went into the forest, the heavier the silence grew, heightening their senses. Every step was careful, avoiding noise as they watched the river for any sign of the creature. Then, through the trees, they spotted the silhouette of a building near the river. Curiosity sparked. They approached cautiously. The structure was dark and silent, adding a new layer to the mystery. Harper tried the door, but it was locked. The resistance only fueled their intrigue, suggesting that something or someone wanted to keep whatever was inside well hidden. Harper and Jim stepped back, considering how to get past the locked door without attracting attention. Refusing to give up, they circled the building under the moonlight, checking for another way in. Their persistence paid off when Harper spotted a slightly open window. She signaled Jim, and together they eased it open wide enough to climb through. Entering felt like crossing into forbidden territory. Inside, the air was thick with dust and mystery, and each silent breath marked their shared resolve to uncover the secrets hidden within. Though they were trespassing, the pull of the unknown urged Harper and Jim forward. Inside, they found what looked like an abandoned office, papers scattered across the desk, dust blanketing every surface. The silence was heavy, making even their whispers feel intrusive. Cautiously, they moved deeper into the building. The corridors were dark and narrow, lined with locked doors and cloaked in shadows that seemed to shift with every step. Harper's nerves grew with each creak of the floor, but Jim's calm determination kept her moving. Together, they tested door after door, hoping for a breakthrough. Finally, one yielded. The door groaned open, revealing a room starkly different from the rest. Harper and Jim stopped, stunned. They had stepped into a lab. Unlike the rest of the building, it wasn't completely abandoned. Equipment was still in place. Notes and diagrams littered the tables, and strange materials lay half-used. It was clear that some kind of research had been taking place, research that didn't quite match their expectations of a forgotten riverside structure. Whatever had happened here, it was something more complex, and perhaps more dangerous than they had imagined. Despite their original goal, the lab's pull was irresistible. Harper and Jim moved carefully among the cluttered tables, drawn in by the mystery that now overshadowed their search for the creature. The lab, filled with microscopes, beakers, and complex equipment, hinted at advanced research, not the work of amateurs. Each step revealed more, suggesting the place was dedicated to studying something unknown. Peering through a glass window in one of the doors, they saw a lit room beyond. Their breath fogged the glass as they stared in disbelief. There, among the lab specimens, was the creature, silent and contained. Their quest had taken a sudden, startling turn from myth to reality. It was accompanied by others, each distinct yet seemingly part of a related study. The creatures once free in the river were now subjects of fascination under the lab's bright lights. Harper and Jim exchanged glances, realizing the extent of their discovery. Seeing the creature in such a setting was shocking, but also enlightening. The controlled environment of the lab provided a stark contrast to the wild, mysterious aura the creature had in the river. This juxtaposition sparked a flurry of questions in Harper and Jim's minds about the purpose of these studies and the origin of the creatures they were now closely observing. This discovery was a pivotal moment, connecting the dots between the creature's existence and its significance. The lab's secretive work, now partially unveiled, shed light on the broader implications of their quest. Harper and Jim now understood the creature's place within a much larger puzzle, its origins, and perhaps its purpose, inching closer to clarity. The sudden sound of footsteps approaching sent Harper and Jim into a silent panic. They spotted a closet and swiftly concealed themselves inside. The tight space forced them to stand close, barely daring to breathe. Outside, the footsteps grew louder, signaling someone's imminent arrival. A lab worker entered, oblivious to their presence, and moved methodically around the room. He gathered tools and specimens with practiced precision, each action deliberate and familiar. Harper and Jim exchanged worried glances, watching closely as the worker tended to the creatures with care and attention. The tension in the small closet was suffocating. The meticulous care shown in preserving the specimens suggested a complex relationship between the researchers and their subjects, hinting at both deep investment and the broader significance of their work. Realizing the significance of what they were witnessing, they exchanged a final glance before quietly slipping away, using their newfound knowledge of the lab's layout to navigate the maze-like corridors and make their escape. Once outside, Harper and Jim didn't stop to catch their breath, knowing the gravity of their discovery. The forest offered temporary cover as they sprinted through the dense woods, fear pushing them forward, knowing they had to expose the lab's secret. Once safe, they contacted the police, detailing everything, from the lab's location to the shocking experiments, including the modified creature they'd seen in the river. Their urgent account triggered a swift response. The police quickly raided the lab, arresting the worker and launching a full investigation. The once hidden facility was now exposed, and its unethical practices, such as genetic modifications of river creatures, were revealed. The escaped creature confirmed their encounter, proving the lab's dangerous tampering with nature. Harper and Jim were publicly honored for their bravery in uncovering the truth, highlighting the importance of responsibility and vigilance. The ceremony was modest, but the recognition from the community made it meaningful. Harper and Jim stood together, proud of what they'd accomplished, exposing wrongdoing and protecting the natural world. The story of the escaped creature sparked debates on genetic modification. Their discovery opened a wider discussion about the balance between science and nature. Investigations revealed the threatening messages had come from the lab workers, trying to intimidate them into silence. This only deepened the scandal. The lab's creatures were relocated to sanctuaries, ensuring their safety. With this, Harper and Jim's journey ended, and they were recognized as heroes, their lives forever changed by the truth they uncovered. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and ring the notifications bell so you never miss amazing tales like this one.